here we go. So you guys asked me to do this for you, right? You asked me to show you exactly the processes in Google Sheets. So I'm going to go ahead and do the regression line first. The Pearson's correlation coefficient. Okay, so a couple of things that you're going to probably need is you're going to probably need a header. So I'll just call this L1, and I'm going to call this L2. And one of the most difficult things in this is creating math type. Okay, and I'll show you where that is. It's upper and insert up here, where you can actually put like math symbols, like for instance chi-squared or f sub e or things like that. Okay. We're going to go ahead and do that right here. And I'm going to create two tables. They're going to be very simple tables, just basic values. And let's do the other ones, make these smaller. Ooh, nice. 32. A little outlier. I don't want that to be there because it's going to be, it'll be a little funky. Let's make these ones a little higher. There we go. So we might get a little correlation. I don't know. Okay, so there's a couple of ways of doing this. You've seen one in your little handout that I gave you that talks about doing standard deviation by hand of x, standard deviation of y, and then using those. And then it also has one that's finding covariance. And that was that top little portion that we've done. Okay? But what we're going to do is we're going to do each of the values that we're looking for. And let's just clarify that the Pearson's correlation coefficient is right here. It's... Oops. I think it'll be in here. There's that. Is Pearson's up here? Oh, no. Okay, so this is the one that we talked about. That's the covariance. And then these are the standard deviations. And then there's this one by hand. This is the sum of x minus x bar, y minus y bar, and then this bottom is the square root of the sums of those. Okay? So, that's the one that we're going to be using. Let's start by figuring out, where the heck am I, this one, the sums. Okay, so most of these have functions that you can do. One of them is a function that will, let's see, where is it? Why isn't the function feature working? Oh man. There we go. Equals, and we can go ahead and select whatever's above it. Okay? So we're going to sum these up. Now we're going to make sure that we do the proper channels of that. And so the sum of those values is going to be as follows. It's just like Excel, hopefully. So we get that, and that'll tell us the sum. Okay? We can do that. And the coolest thing about this is you just drag it over to the sum of the next one. Okay? Now suppose I want to figure out what the mean is. Well, I can easily take this and press equal sign, and I could press average. Average is the function, and I could just take the average of these values right here and do that, or I could take the sum and divide it by the total of those values. But I'm just going to go ahead and take the average like that. Press enter. There's my average, and there's that. Okay? So we have the sums here, we have the averages here, and now we actually want to run Pearson's product moment correlation coefficient. And so on this particular section, we're going to do, let's go ahead and do x minus x bar. And I don't want to actually do x bar, so I'm going to do insert, and is it no, it's not function, it's insert. Oh, maybe it's over here. There it is. Function. No, wait, there was the equation one. I just did it with, who was it? I did it with, okay, well, we'll have to figure that one out later. Darn.
It might be special character.
That one was in docs. I found the equation. I did equation in docs.
You did equation editor in the docs. Well, I know you can do it in here. I've done it before. I am blanking. Dang it. Well, we're going to go ahead and just do the silly stuff. We'll do just x minus x bar, okay? Or x minus the mean. And how to do that? We need to do the equal sign again. Equal sign is going to always give us some sort of function that we do. And so I want to make sure that I take A2, so column A, row 2, and I want to subtract that from the mean. The mean you will have to plug in, or you can say that is A15. Okay? The problem with using A15 is it doesn't drag down. Okay? If you use the actual number, it will drag down. And here's what I mean by drag down. If I use 4.83333, I can simply take this and drag it down for every single one of those possibilities. And in fact, I believe I can drag it over and do the next column. But I'm not 100% sure about that. We can always go back and it says B2 minus, oh, the mean's different. So none of these are going to work. I'm going to go ahead and press undo. So equals, I'm going to do B2 minus 3.416667. You got that? Grab the corner, drag it down, and now we have y minus y bar. Okay? You're going to come back and you're going to change these possibly in Google Docs or whenever the heck I figure out how to do math type in there. So now we have x minus x bar, and if you remember back in our PowerPoint, it's x minus x bar multiplied together. Now, gosh, man, I wish there was an easy way that I could just simply sum all these up as I go. Once you can, you just drag that over. Okay? And when we get to these two columns multiplied together, you can do that. Equal to C1, and then you use the asterisk. I believe it's the asterisk, and you use D1. No, it should be 2. I'm on the wrong one. 2. There we go. Great work. Try that again. Wrong spot. C2 times D2. So we have C2 times D2. We get a value. We're going to take that. We're going to drag it all the way down to get all of the values. Now I want to figure out the sum of those because I'm looking to show my work. I can just drag that over, and there's the sum. It's 23.83333. Repeating. Okay? So this happens to be the top of your Pearson's correlation coefficient. Okay? If you actually want to write that out, you can. And then that would be the sum down here. You know, I'd probably type that in or something like that. That was 58. So, okay. So typed it in, kind of understand that's my sum column. Okay, so now I want to do, it looks like x minus x bar squared. So all I have to do is take this section, this row C2, and square it. Equals C2 caret 2. Okay? Do that. Drag it down. Do it for the rest. Okay? That's x minus x bar squared. And then we want to do y minus y bar squared. So let's do the same thing. Gosh, maybe if I just, because I'm just doing the same thing, maybe if I just go like this, bink. Oh my goodness gracious, it worked. Okay? And now the last thing that we do, so we've squared them, we're going to take the sums of those two. Okay? I'm going to continue going like this. Boom, boom. And that would give you everything you need to know. So that is Pearson's correlation coefficients calculations done by hand. Okay? Now, obviously, you're going to take these values, multiply it by these values, and then square root it, and then put this value on top of those two values. But you're going to show yourself inserting that into a formula. That is part of the complex process, is taking those values that you calculated and insert it into the formula. Okay? All right, so that's Pearson's correlation coefficient. Questions? Yes? Proper notation like this stuff? Okay, so probably what I would do at this point is, hopefully that's saved. In Docs, actually I'm going to go to Google Sheets on one and open this up. And I'm going to go to Google Docs and I'm going to go ahead and make a new one. Call this, I don't know, Saputo correlation. Okay, and I want to insert that. I believe that the best possible way of doing it is copying and pasting it. Okay, did it do it? Copy? Okay, paste. There it is. Okay, so these are improper. They're not in the right order, but all your information's in there. You can go ahead and change all of these to proper symbols. Okay, so I'm going to go in here and I'm going to change this. I say I don't want x minus x bar. That's a bunch of baloney. I want to insert equation. There it is. We're going to do x minus, and then you can do bar. If you do backslash, you can do that. Press space, and then you put an X. Oh, that's terrible looking, but close enough. Okay? And the other one you do, let's do this one. Insert equation. This is y minus backslash bar space y. I wish it was looking better than that. Yeah, it's pretty trashy. Yeah, there's a little, these little symbols down here you can add. I think it's in this one. No, it's in, it's right there. That looks a little nicer. Weird. Okay, it's bold now. Unbold. I tried Command B, it didn't work. X minus. Oh my gosh, here we go. X. What the devil? That's like, you know, that little stuff doesn't matter. So this stuff, you know, is that clear enough on those? Okay. You can also add, instead of doing this right here, you could do insert equation, and there should be a summation equation right. Where's the one without? That's it. There it is. So you can do sum equals. Okay.
Well, actually, there's just the sum as well. The one on the far left, on new equation.
Okay. Well, we'll figure it out another time. I'm recording, so. Or you can do it on the outside. Just be this is the sum column. You could do it though if you want. It doesn't matter. As long as I know that this column is the sums. Okay? Now, sometimes you have a ton of stuff in here, okay? Let's say you have a ton of stuff in here, and you don't want to show every single little detail. Well, here's what I would recommend doing. That would be selecting the stuff that you already have. I'm going to go ahead and press Command Copy. And then I have way too much stuff, so I'm going to go ahead and delete half of it. This is for like people with, oops, that was the wrong button. Oops, wrong button again. Delete. Okay, that's terrible, but I guess you have to go delete 10 rows. There we go. I want to show the rest of my stuff below, so I'm going to do that. And now this started at 5, so at 5 I'm going to start another column. Let's say I don't want to show the middle stuff, but I want to show my working, so I want to show like the last 2 rows. So I'm going to go ahead and just delete these. Right click, delete 10 rows. And then I would probably want to add some sort of ellipses in here, like ... Okay, you've seen it in other papers. Not very accurate, make it look pretty. Okay, so that gives you an idea of a large amount of data being summarized so I can put it in the paper. That doesn't mean neglect the data. Put it at the very end. Put it in the appendix. But you are allowed to do that to show some of your calculations, okay? Okay, so then I wanted to show you the process of chi-square test of independence. But the chi-square, do you guys really want me to do that? Because it's going to be, yeah? Okay, let's do another one. Let's Google Sheet on this, and let's do the first column. Ooh, I can't make up frequency tables, so I will have to do this on a calculator real quick. Matrix over here. I'm going to do a 2 by 3. And hey, I have stuff already in there, so I'm going to go ahead and just do stat. Degrees of freedom, there it is. Okay, so you're going to have to figure out how to do a contingency table on your own. Make sure you actually follow the process of that. And here's what we have. So I'm going to do, this will be just my F sub E. No, F sub O. This will be F sub E, and then we'll go on from there. Okay? We got 44. Oh, wait. I don't want to be invited to... I will go, though. Let's see. 55, 88. Okay. And then, just so I want to stay consistent with my values, I'm going to do 24.75, 37.125. That one happens to be the same thing. This one is 41.25. This one is 61.875, and then the last one is the same thing as well. Okay? So, calculations for Pearson's, this is for chi-square test of independence. We want to take FO and subtract it from FE. Okay? Right? So, I want to take equal to, don't forget the equal to sign, otherwise you're just going to get A values. A2 minus B2. And we get a value. And we're going to do it for each one of those. Oh, I messed up. But that's okay. I can just delete it. So that is, and look, it tells you what's happening here. So if you ever get any confusion, A3 minus B3, you can see that right there. And now we're going to take that and we're going to square it, right? This is FO minus FE squared. Okay? So that is basically this row squared. That's C. So I'm going to go equal C2, and I'm going to take that value and I'm going to square it. And drag it all down. There we go. So far, so good. You can see the same kind of process for Yates continuity correction. Same type of thing. Now we're going to take that and divide it by, just copy and paste this, and then I'm going to take this and divide it by F sub E. So that means I need to take this row and divide it by row B. So that equals D2 divided by B2. There we go. Bring them all down. And now we can do our summation thing. And once again, that is equal to the sum, and then you just drag your values. There it is. And there's your chi-squared test of independence. And, you know, this is going to be chi-squared, but you're going to want to go in there and actually change it, okay? So careful with that. I don't want to even write it. But once again, drag it, copy and paste it into your document. Control C, go over to your document, scroll down, Control V. There it is, and then go back and change your formatting, okay? Carets are going to get docked down. If you don't do subscripts correctly, those will get docked down. You know, this one, it's actually pretty cumbersome to do the actual division sign. So leaving it with the little slash is actually okay. The word bar will get docked down. So if you have the word bar in there, so be careful about that. Anything else? Any questions, comments, concerns? That's Google Sheets. Spacebar. No. Tab F5.